Comrade Rosa and Salatine. Comrade Rosa going home the better, and Comrade Rosa beat Salatine.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Final Gallop. It is episode 294, and as always is proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. This week we're going to preview our squadron of runners for Tattersall's Tiara Raceday at Eagle Farm, part of the Queensland Racing Carnival. Morning, Tony. Last week it was another fabulous Ipswich Cup race day, and we came away with two really nice winners in Rock Ribbed and Wollumbai in the listed Gay Waterhouse.
Yeah, good morning, Claire. Yeah, it was a good day out there. It's always a big day. It's always a fun day.
Entertaining day.
There's always plenty of entertainment at Ipswich. I thought all the team raced really well.
They did.
Got the two winners, but I overall left there quite satisfied the way that the entire team raced on the day. I thought the track raced brilliantly and the horses ran accordingly.
Okay. Now, before we get into our preview, it is our Spotlight segment. This week we have an exciting opportunity for our clients and supporters to jump into a ready-to-race 3-year-old gelding by Star Turn named Lantau Island. Tony, you've brought him along since he was a yearling, always to sell as a ready-to-race prospect, and now he's ready to go.
Yep, absolutely. He's a really nice horse, very strong animal. Good medium-sized horse, maybe a touch bigger, very, very strong. Trialled up well, give him plenty of time at 2 just to educate, and there's a 3-year-old we've got moving on him. He's ready to get to the races and get going. He's a really nice horse. He's foolproof. He's got lovely gate speed, puts himself there, and he can quicken off it. So not very often you get opportunity to get to a horse that's ready to go to the races. Yep. This is that opportunity.
Okay, and Star Turn has also done a really good job as a young sire, producing a couple of Group 1 winners so far, and also the winner of the Oxlade Stakes at Eagle Farm a couple of weeks ago.
That was a big win too. Winner of the Oxlade was deep the entire and got the job done. No, he's doing a good job at Star Turn. He's doing a really good job. This is a lovely son of Star Turn.
Absolutely. So if you are interested in this opportunity at just over $8,000 for a 5% share, please get in contact with us at sales@gollanracing.com.au, or you can contact Tony or myself directly. Okay, and again, just before we get into the preview, it's time to announce the winner of our latest promotion with the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. The prize is a $200 voucher for the Catalina restaurant at the Novotel Brisbane Airport. Okay, Tony, who is the winner this week?
Tui. Yeah,
Ryan Tuivati.
Ryan Tuivati, known affectionately as Tui. So well done, mate. You'll enjoy that. You can go out there yourself, or you can take your little girl out and have a terrific lunch. Absolutely.
Congratulations, Ryan. A representative of the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group will be in touch with your prize voucher. So now we get into the preview for Tatt's Tiara Raceday at Eagle Farm on Saturday. The rail will be in the 7 metre position, 6 metres from the 1600 metres to the 1000 metres. The track is currently a soft 5 with mostly fine days ahead. The track has had a couple of weeks off and the rail goes out 2.5 metres from then. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's interesting. It has gone out a bit since that last meeting. We're at 7 metres, I think, this week, or it's moved about a touch. I say that's just from where the track, as we know, it's well documented. It struggles, it's just ripping up a lot. I do think it'll probably race a little bit softer. Normally sort of Stradbroke day, quite firm Stradbroke day, but it's still chewed out. So, look, I expect that they possibly could win closer to the rail earlier in the meeting, and as the meeting proceeds, you're going to see that chop out, that inside, and they're going to come off fence. So I think it'll race pretty carbon copy of what we've seen. I'd be disappointed if they've done any sort of correction to that, but I think it'll race pretty similar to what we've seen in the previous 3 weeks of Stradbroke season. Okay.
We do kick off in race 1, which is the 3-year-old fillies plate over the 1200 metres. We have 2 runners in this. We'll start with Pure Paradise. She'll carry 56.5 kilos. Blake Shin on board, barrier 9. She's paying $4.40 to win and $1.65 for the place. She is a newcomer to the stable, and she's a stakes performed filly. Has worked well since her arrival and had a nice trial a fortnight ago.
Yep, nice filly. Purchased at the Magic Me in the Broodmare sale. Hopefully she can do a Wollumbai.
Yes.
For a first start out, get the job done. I noticed when Lloyd Kennywell and Lucy Yeomans had this filly, when they put the blinkers on her, she really improved. She likes the blinkers on, ridden a bit quiet and find the line. Eagle Farm suits. There's enough tempo, good tempo on this race. There's two I think that'll roll along. Chris Munster's horse and Tiger Shark, they'll roll along, so they'll go along at a nice enough gallop. This filly will just sit back off that speed. And hopefully chime in and be strong late.
Okay, the second runner is Cassier, 56.5 kilos, with James McDonald riding, barrier 6. She is paying $9.50 to win and $2.50 for the place. She was a debut winner in New Zealand back in March before a fast finishing second from last win first up at Doomben a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, she's pretty new to the stable as well, a Kiwi filly. Quite like her. She's doing a really good job. I drew wide the other day in that 10-metre rail. I had to go back and give a fair start and run on, I thought, terrifically well. Her sectionals were brilliant. I'd imagine, well, I'm hopeful that she'll step better here. James on board, low draw step. I think she just finds the back of the speed. Put a tongue tie on her. I just noticed making a bit of a noise flipping that pallet when she gets a bit keen. So she's handled that well, and I think it'll just take that bit of pull out of her as far as getting keen in the run. So I think she'll be closer here off a low draw. We'll get a lovely run behind what I think is a genuine speed, and will present well also. Look, both fillies, it's hard for me to line these two up. They're both relatively new to the stable. On the score of form, you have to have pure paradise. But I don't think there's a lot between them from what I see at home here. Cassier's a really nice filly. Better filly than what the form suggests.
Okay. We'll head to race 3 now, which is the benchmark 85 handicap over 1,200 metres. We have 4 runners in this. Mullane is the first one we'll talk about. 60.5 kilos. James McDonald, barrier 13. He's paying $3.20 to win and $1.45 for the place. Did win it at this track and trip 3 starts ago, before 2 unlucky runs since then. Last start settled back and then rocketed home along the inside before a close second behind Hidden Wealth.
Really good the other day, drew very wide and get back the fence, come up the inferior part of the track and finished off well. Off a gate would have won easily. Still drawn a bit nasty here in 13. I think there's enough speed on. James had the rider and he rode him well the other day, and he'll ride him well again. I think this race presents nicely for him. Okay,
second runner is Pizarro, 60 kilos. Jimmy Orman rides barrier 1. He's paying $19 to win and $5 for the place. He did win 2 in a row at Ipswich before a midfield finish at this track and trip last start, a few lengths behind Hidden Wealth and Mullane, who he does face both of those again.
Yeah, I thought I'd give him a really good chance that day. I thought he was ridden a bit too close, to be honest.
Okay.
I think he's a better horse. You ride him in the second half of the field, really make him relax early and come with a big finish. I thought we just niggled him a touch out the gates and we had him just on the back of the speed. I think it was just too close for him.
Okay.
So I think ridden a bit quieter, even off that low draw, he'll do no work in running, but be a little bit more patient on him early. I think you'll see him improve. I had nothing between him and Mullane sort of the other day going into the race, and I was a bit surprised by the disparity, but I just think we rode him too close.
Okay. Hidden Wealth will carry 59 kilos. Tommy Berry will ride him. He's drawn barrier 17. Hidden Wealth at the moment is paying $4.20 to win and $1.65 for the place. He is in very good form this preparation. Held on for a deserved win last start at this track and trip. He makes some of his rivals from that race a little bit worse off at the weights, and he is drawn wide.
Yeah, that's what happens when you win, isn't it? You go up in the ratings.
True.
But he's going nice. I loved his versatility the other day to go forward. I didn't have him outside lead. But I thought he'd be handy on speed, where he could have to be outside lead or lead here, I'm not sure. But there's a bit of pressure here, but I think we'll just leave it to Tommy again, just bounce out, roll forward, be positive.
Okay.
Horse is going unbelievably well. He looks so fit, so well. He'll race forward to the speed and he's going to be very genuine once more.
Okay, the last one we'll talk about is Nanagai. She'll carry 56 kilos. Blake Shin rides barrier 4. She's paying at $23 to win and $6 for the place. She's another newcomer to the stable, and she's a multiple group place getter in her 2-year-old season and a stakes winner as a 3-year-old. Had over a year off the racetrack before coming to us. Comes to this race off a jump out and a nice trial.
Yeah, she presents up well fresh, but all her fresh form's pretty good. Okay. She's going along really nicely. She's been a difficult filly to get a bit of a read on early in the prep when we got her in, but I'm really happy with her now. I love the speed in the race for her. She just drops out midfield, something like that, maybe a touch worse, just relaxes and finds a line. She's over the odds. Her form tells you that, her best form.
Yep.
She's had a bit of a disparity between her best and worst, but I think she's going particularly well, and I expect her to race well, and we've got a very good jockey on board. Who's going to have on top?
Yep.
I'm not going to put anything on top. And Mullane I've got on top, obviously off his run the other day with McDonald on, but I really think we'll win this race.
Okay.
That's sort of my tip for this one.
One of the
Gollan runners will win this race, in my opinion.
Okay. Race 5 is the listed Tattersall's Gold Crown for the fillies and the mares over the 2,143 metres. Princess Rainice is the first one we'll talk about in this. 56.5 kilos. Blake Shin on board. Princess Rainice is drawn barrier 1 and she's paying $2.40 to win and $1.30 for the place. The strongest slate to win the benchmark 90 over the 1,810 at Eagle Farm last start. She is a winner past 2,000 metres, drawn for a soft run and likely to get favourable track conditions.
Yeah, she's my best chance for the day, so we'll probably come to the chase a bit early in the show. I love the way she's going. She ran second in this race last year. got to the front and just peaked, but I didn't have as good a prep. I've had a better prep this year. Everything's been. We only just got her last year into this winter carnival. This year I've had all year to prepare for this race. Basically, I love the low draw. She's on board. She'll just go to sleep. Midfield defence. Relax and be really good to the line. I've had that run at 1800 under my belt going into this. Where I had the 2 miles last year. I think she's an outstanding chance.
Okay, second runner is Sunset Soiree, 56 kilos. Angela Jones rides barrier 12. She's paying $17 to win and $3.80 for the place. Got well back in the same race as Princess Rainey's last start and was strong through the line. First time at the trip, but she does have a bit of a sticky gate to contend with.
Yeah, the gate is a worry, because she begins slow. You sort of pigeonhole yourself sort of at the back of the field, which is annoying, depending on how quick they go. I did like her through the line at 1800. Jury's out for me whether she runs at 21.50 or 21.43, whatever that unique distance is. But I just don't love her as much off that wide draw. Off a low draw, you can do a bit on her and you can get up inside a few horses and not be last, but you can't see a bit anything other than the last 3 here in running. If she runs the distance, she can run really well. It's just hard to probably see her beating Princess Rainey's on their runs the other day.
Okay, that's fair enough. Race 8 is the Group 1 Tattersall's Tiara for the fillies and mares, run over 1,400 metres. Comrade Rosa is the first one we have in this race of our 2 runners. 57 kilos, Angela Jones on board, barrier 19. She's paying $26 to win and $7 for the place. Has been the victim of some wet tracks and wide draws, all preparation. Gets another wide draw and will need Ange to put in a special ride to be in the finish. Yeah,
well, we drew wide on Stradbroke Day, and as the day was unfolding, I thought that's not too bad, the way the track was. We still ended up on the fence in the worst part of the track, shoved back down into the worst part of the track. So, I don't know. I would imagine we could... Bella Nipotina's not drawn too far to our inside. I'd imagine we could find a 3-wide line with cover. And if we can, anywhere midfield or worse, we can really attack the line strongly here. I really like her as a chance in the race. I've set her for this race all prep. I'm super happy with her. I was really disappointed when we found the fence the other day off that wide draw. I don't think it's where we're going to want to be on the weekend, the fence. I don't think we'll find it from 19. So look, it's a very open race. You take out the favourite, who's obviously in great form. She's got to keep doing it. Chris Waller's horse was really good the other day, first run for the stable. After that, it opens right up this race, and she's certainly one of those chances.
Okay, the other runner we have in this race is Bubble Rock. She'll carry 57 kilos. Billy Egan rides barrier at 15. She's paying $34 to win and $8 for the place. Was promising how she fought on first up for third in the Helen Coghlan on a wet track. Had an easy jump out win since, but has to contend with another awkward draw.
Yeah, but she can handle that sort of draw. The draw doesn't worry me so much with her. She's a lovely on-speed horse. If you watched early in the Coghlan, she jumped well and she wanted to get going. Nash just waited for a couple of those to cross him from out wide and want to get a head up and go a bit fierce. The key here for Billy is just to let her flow. Just flow with her. Zoe Promise, horse of Chris Lees, looks probably the leader with this filly, with this mare. And I think she's there to run a good, strong 1,400. She was sort of beaten on straightening the other day. And then her best part of her race was the last half furlong. So I've always felt 1,400 Big Track Eagle Farm rolling up on speed is going to suit her. She's in great condition. Second up month between runs with a jump out in between. She's in great order. I think she's a real X factor in the race. It all just depends on how those two leaders go carving each other up, I guess. But I certainly see her on speed and definitely runs out a strong 1,400.
And you're not going to split them? You're just
one's going to be at the back, one's going to be up the front, and it'll just be how the race presents, But I'm certainly not worried at all about the draw for Bubble Rock.
Okay, we'll head to race 9 now, which is the Group 3 WJ Healy Stakes over 1,200 metres. 3 runners. We'll start with All That Pizzazz, who's backside you can just see there in the back of the box. He'll carry 58 kilos with James McDonald riding barrier 12. He's paying $4.40 to win and $1.95 for the place. Was really gallant in the Group 2 Morton Cup, finishing 4th, but only a nose from 2nd. Up 2 kilos in this race, but does get J Mac on board.
Good form race, the Morton Cup. Valana come out and run, followed Valana in the run, it just dropped us off, and obviously come out and run 3rd in the Stradbroke. At Wits End, I think, ran in the Morton, come out and won the eyeliner. I think it's a very deep race. He's still weighted okay at 58. I think McDonald on, we find a more prominent position. I think we find a spot somewhere in the first 6. If we can just find the back of the speed, not have too much work to do on the run home, I see him as an outstanding chance here.
Okay, second runner is Zerastro, 58 kilos, Angela Jones rides him from barrier 6. He's paying $18 to win and $6 for the place. Drawn the best barrier. He has all preparation in this race. Wasn't all that far off all that pizzazz and a few others last start. Can he turn it around?
He did a little bit too much work in the run, and she went a touch early on him. I think she rides him really well, Ange. There's no pot on her, but she maybe could have just managed things a touch better on him. I love the 3 weeks into this for him. I think that's really crucial. In the summer, we spaced him out, that's 3 and 4 weeks between runs. Because of the efforts he puts in being an up-on-speed leading type horse, the recovery post that effort is important. And this horse he's really, really good 21 days into this. So you'll see him bridge that gap a lot with all that pizzazz in this. And he'll be a big improver off what you saw in the Morton.
Okay, third runner is King Kappa, 55.5 kilos. Tommy Berry rides barrier 8. He's paying $16 to win at the moment and $5 for the place. Much improved run, second up in the listed Lightning. Was a stakes winner at this track and trip, third up last winter.
He needed the first up run, he just got tired. I thought he was really good in the Lightning, just presented and just peaked. He's pretty spot on now. It's as good as he's been all prep. His work's been great, he looks great. He'll get a lovely run here. He'll just find the back of the speed. And you got the usual suspects up on speed. Astro, Prince of Boom, probably Jigsaw from a wide draw. Then you got him right there doing no work. Tommy on him, knows him now, having a couple of rides on him. So one ride on him. So, look, I think he's a big improver. He's only just now fully fit into his preparation. So, what we've seen is all entree to where he's at now.
Okay, so how are you splitting these three?
I'm just going to go with Mr. Reliable here, but in fairness, it's probably not a big lot, all that pizzazz, not a big lot between them, but I think McDonald, ridden a bit closer, finds the back of the speed, he's hard to beat. Zarastro's a big improver. It'll just depends on what Prince of Boom and Jigsaw do. If they carve each other up, well, he's going to be right on the hammer. So it depends on how the race is run. But this race is a bit like the 85 for me. I give the stable a great chance of winning the last.
Okay. We are into the final furlong of this week's Final Gallop. Who do you think your best winning chance at Eagle Farm on Saturday is?
Well, I've given up already. Princess Rani's. I got one runner in that race, and I got two. Sunset Soiree. But I love her off that low draw. You know, Shen's going to put her to sleep. He's a beautiful rider. I think she's had a perfect preparation for this race.
Okay, best each way chance.
Yeah, it was a tricky one. I didn't know which way to go here with the each way. I'm probably going to go him. He's not quite. He was on one side I looked at this morning. He was $1.95 to place. So I'm going to go him each way. I just think he gives you such a good sight for your money.
He does, yes.
He was the best of mine home in the Morton. He was he beaten a half head for second. So, you know, I think he's my each way. McDonald posies up all that pizzazz, posies up, finds the back of him. I think he's each way. But I think you can play in a few races Saturday. I think this is probably the overall strongest team we've taken to the races all carnival for the races we're in. I wouldn't be without either having something each way on either mare and the Tiara as well. No, Roth race terrific. Okay.
And any good chances at the provincials at Gatton on Saturday?
No, we'll leave the provincials alone. Let's just stick to town. This is the second last meeting of what seems to be a long carnival now. We're getting to the end of it, but this is the last Brisbane meeting of the carnival. Really want to finish this Brisbane part with a bang. Okay.
Your best track worker this week?
Track worker this week, he was great. He worked with another horse in the stable we're pretty excited about, Invincible Shield. That was as nice a work as you've seen in a pretty gloomy average morning here on Tuesday. And Zarastro was his old being a pain in the bum self to Bailey who was riding him, so he's right on song when he's like that.
Yes, okay. And your performance from the stable for the week?
It's a good question. Wallenby, I'd say, she was new. Her win was amazing. She was the horse that defied the... I wouldn't say it's bias, but no horse come from that far back. No. Like, you know, she was going to run 8th at the furlong. And she's won easy. You know,
running away from
she was amazing. She's a great acquisition for the team to train and win on a big day for Yulong. It's something we're pretty happy with. So she heads to the Glass House now, and look, geez, she's going to be something to beat there. Okay.
Now it is time for Cav's Corner, which is supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. While Cav was back to his best last week, landing his place multi with Spirit Queen and Bazik at Ipswich, and it was a nice dividend for his backers too. Let's see what he's got for us this week.
Welcome to Cav's Corner for this week. A little bit of joy last week for the battlers. This week we're going to Eagle Farm. We'll go Mullane, a win, into Princess Rani's, a win. Gives you a dividend of around $8.10 for the dollar outlay. Good punting, guys.
So he's gone Princess Rani's a win into Mullane a win. So he's gone don't know why he always goes away when he wins from his
tried and
formula.
true. Yeah.
So.
But I like it. It's a good
Yeah.
model. It's a good model. And they're both really in the right races, and they've got the right jockeys on board, and they're both racing at tracks they like.
Yeah.
They both race well here, you know. So no, I like his multi.
Yeah.
I'd love a place for him. I know the odds are pretty skinny, but I'd take that.
Yeah.
But no, it's a good multi.
Okay, he's just probably looking for the good return for his loyal followers. Anyway, good luck on Saturday, Tony. It's been a good winter carnival so far, and hopefully it continues.
Yeah, thanks, Claire. It has been. It's looking forward to rounding out the carnival on Tat's Day. It's always a great day. Get out there and support our oldest racing club, the Tattersall Racing Club.
Absolutely.
It'll be a fantastic day.
Best of luck to everyone.